Hello and welcome to today's short and snappy takes by Americana Reviews. I hope you all are well. And yeah, I'm okay. I wanted to review a couple of movies in this one review. And I know I'm a little late. Okay, not even a little late. I know I'm very, very late to reviewing this, but I have my reasons. So yeah, DND and Super Mario. Let's get into it. So I got a chance to watch Super Mario and D&D a couple of weeks ago actually. It's just that I really didn't know how to frame this review because I'm not like a veteran video game player. So me reviewing this is totally from a normie's point of view. But really, it's not an excuse. I think I kept on postponing, and other movies and shows kept coming up. So I just kept putting this particular movies at the back burner, but here we are. And truthfully speaking, I enjoyed watching both movies as a normie. I think the last time I played a Super Mario or the Nintendo uh, game was a long time ago. I think I was in primary or I don't know, class 3 2 there, because remember there were neighbors who had that game and I used to play from time to time. So I was watching them rather from a completely normie's point of view. But yeah, generally I think I loved the movies. Super Mario Bros. Was a fun movie where you could enjoy it as a kid or as an adult. And I think that was the winning point. That's why it uh got that much money. I think releasing it on digital within a month was sort of a mistake because for me, I would have wanted to milk this movie for everything that it had. I would have kept it in theaters until it made in a lot of money. That's just me. So releasing it on digital for me, I didn't understand because when you release a movie on digital because it's not making money in theaters, but this one was. So I really didn't understand the mathematics behind it, but oh well, maybe the money was enough. It broke a couple of records, the Super Mario Bros. Movies. I think it's currently the highest grossing animation movie. And I think as far as this year goes, I think it's the highest grossing movie. If I'm not wrong, I'll check my statistics when I edit this. But I think it's a movie that has made the most money between January and now. So yeah, I think this just goes to show movies work when you make them as simple as you can, because this was a simple movie. It wasn't a complicated movie, and you stay true to source material where you um please your original audience, the audience that has kept you there or has gotten you that much success, and that's the video game players. And I think that the movie understood that perfectly. So yeah, I love the depiction of Mario and Luigi. As in, I love the story behind it. They quit their jobs to start their own plumbing companies. They explained the whole issue of the accent because I know people were losing their minds over the accent issues, and casting Chris Pratt as Mario. I know they at least they addressed that decently, I feel. And I love the depiction of Princess Peach, if I'm not wrong, if I've not named her wrong. So yeah, I loved how she didn't get in the way of the protagonist. She there was a good balance. She held up her own, but she didn't overstep Mario's position in the movie. So yeah, it was a fun movie. I enjoyed watching it, and it's a movie that I am very, very glad it made that much money. I understand why it did. It didn't impose on itself, it didn't step on toes, it was just here to entertain, and that's exactly what it did. And I understand, as much as it's still out on digital, it's still out in cinemas, and I think they're just enjoying the success, because I think they kind of saw the success they would get. They kind of saw it, but I don't think they saw the magnitude of the success that this movie got. So does this movie deserve the success it got? Yes, definitely it did. Do I recommend it? Yes. It doesn't matter whether you've played the games or not. You will enjoy this movie. And as I've said before, just stay to Nini. Just stay true to source material. You've seen the success The Last of Us has gotten. You've seen the success of Super Mario. So stick to the script, and you'll please your original audience, and you'll sort of create a new fan base for yourself. So you'll please the original people who put you on that pedestal, and at the same time you'll get to welcome this new audience who would have probably never known or been interested in your material. So I think Super Mario aced doing this. So yeah, that's it. Now moving on to D&D is how can I say this? I think their marketing really let them down. I was expecting this movie to be really, really, really as in bad. Because the way they marketed this movie during their press tours, I was like, do they even want us to see these movies? Or they just want us to not see this movie? Because I remember one of their main strategy was telling us that they were depleting their male leads. They didn't want them to shine as much so that they can elevate their female characters. And I was like, that is not empowering at all. That's actually really, really bad. As a woman, for me to shine, men who are around me shouldn't be put down for me to shine. That just shows that I shouldn't be in the first place in a position to shine. If I cannot shine on my own merits as a grown up or as a person, then that automatically means that I shouldn't be shining. So they had a lot of weird campaigns around their press tours. But watching the movie was okay. It was a fun time. It wasn't like a serious movie at like the Lord of the Rings, where so many things are layered. You have to explain what, like Game of Thrones. No, it was just a fun movie where they had a mission to save Edgar Davis's kid, played by Chris Pine, and also revive the dead mom. So it was a quest basically, and when you're doing a quest, you have like your band of misfits or people who are going to help you along the way to achieve your goal. I think this cast was pretty great. I enjoyed Michelle Rodriguez, Holga's character. She wasn't mindless, and she was a brute, yes, but she was a brute with a heart. Especially when you get to see the people, or when you get to see the person she was apparently in love with. So yeah, it was a movie with heart, and it was a great fun time that I would recommend people to watch. I also loved Hugh Grant's Forge character as the one of the villains in the movie, and yeah, and I also liked the guy who plays the guy people are obsessed with from Bridgerton, the black British guy. I liked his character as well, and yeah. This movie was generally a good time. Critics placed it kind of mid average, which is what I would give it. But the audience really, really enjoyed the movie. And for me, the audience score means more to me than a critic's score. Yeah. Speaking as a critic myself, I value the audience score more because the audience are the ones who are going to give you the money. And if your audience enjoyed whatever you put out, I think that's what you should be worried about. That's the thing. That is where the money is. So if your audience is happy with whatever you put out, that means that is where you're going to get the money. As much as, yes, critic scores are sort of important to creatives, the audience is where I feel your priorities should be, because that is the person you're trying to entertain. That is the person you're trying to get to. That's the person you're trying to get their money. So if your audience is happy, then fine. I don't know much about Dungeons and Dragons. I know they have like a whole army behind the game, but generally this was a good movie. It had its highs that I really liked the lessons behind the movie, the small lessons here and there. I also liked the action. I had they went on location, so it wasn't like green screen the whole time. So that gives them an automatic A from me because what we've learned and what we've seen from this DC and Marvel movies is the overuse of green screen to a point where it doesn't even feel. I know movies are not, but it's supposed to feel at least real. Kidogo too, you know. But overall, Dungeons and Dragons was fine. It's not like a movie I will remember many years to come, like how Lord of the Rings has a special place in my heart. I'm like Game of Thrones or Attack on Titan. I just had to sleep it Apple, but it was a fun movie. And at times in this very gloomy, serious world, we all need some fun. So Dungeons and Dragons, Super Mario Bros. If you haven't watched them, they're out on digital. You can look for them. Or you can go watch Super Mario Bros. In theaters because it's still in theaters. So yeah, I really had a good time watching the two movies. I took my time to analyze it because I didn't want to break down the movies like I usually do. I just wanted to give my general view because people are nini movies or productions rather are looking towards video game adaptations, and so far I think they've done a good job. When you look at The Last of Us, Super Mario Bros, and Dungeons and Dragons, so yeah, I think we're headed in the right path. There are people who fail. Mm, Movies such as the recent Tomb Raiders, not the ones from Angelina Jolie, but the previous one. Enchanted also was not very much welcomed by the core audience that plays the game. So yeah, that's it. Bye.